Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to Nautilus, the Titan of the Depths. If this is your first time here on the channel, what we do is we're going to go through the biography and story for Nautilus first. We'll take a look at his gameplay. We'll then take a look at any trailers Nautilus may be in, and we'll finally end off with voice lines and like the wiki and the skins at the very end of the video. This is continuing my journey of just going through all of the League of Legends champions until we've done the lore for every single champion. So if you want to join me on that journey, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a thumbs up on this video, and checking out some of the other videos that we've done a reaction for on the channel. All right, guys. So Nautilus, I know the little bits about him. Obviously, we've done Pike. We've done some other Bilgewater champions, Gangplank, Misfortune, all these people. We've done Fizz. So, the most I know about him is he's underwater, right? He lives underwater and he's a giant anchor for a weapon. I believe that's majority of what I know about him. So today we're definitely going to be learning like the deep dive lore into Nautilus. So let's actually find out more about him. All right, the quote says, "When consumed by utter darkness, there's nothing left but forward." Okay, for sure. I like that quote by Nautilus. Role is tank, region Bilgewater, and then like I said, Fizz, Alawi, Nami, and Tom Kench. We've reacted to all of those champions, just not Nautilus yet. A lonely legend, as old as the first piers sunk in Bilgewater, the armored Goliath known as Nautilus roams the dark waters off the coast of the Blue Flame Isles. Driven by a forgotten betrayal, he strikes without warning, swinging his enormous anchor to save the wretched and drag the greedy to their doom. It is said he comes for those who forget to pay the Bilgewater tithe, pulling them down beneath the waves with him, an ironclad reminder that none can escape the depths. So yeah, I guess I'm just kind of wondering what kind of personality he has. Let's go ahead and get into his biography. To understand the legend of Nautilus, one must first know the man, for even the tallest of tavern tales agree he was indeed a man. Okay, we're setting it straight. Though the waves have washed away the name he was born with, most remember Nautilus as no mere sailor, but as a salvage diver. Just beyond the southernmost reach of the Blue Flame Isles lies a graveyard of ships rumored lost while searching for a blessed land, looking to trade wealth for immortality. Well, we know what that is. The Blessed Isles. On a fair day, their glittering holds beckon from beneath the surface. Many crews sought divers to collect the lost fortune, and none could match the skill of the quick-sinking hulk of solid muscle that was Nautilus. With lungs that could steal the air from a galleon's sails, Nautilus preferred to free dive. Always bringing up plenty of gold or jewels for the crew, the man demanded no special wages. He asked that only the captain toss a coin overboard as they set out, honoring and appeasing the vast ocean. A sailor's superstition to be sure, but many a seafaring crew made such offerings to ensure a safe return. I mean, no, I think this is legit. You gotta make an offering to the ocean around Bilgewater or bad things will happen. Years of salvage depleted the easy treasure, each haul becoming less and less, until one day Nautilus's crew learned that their ship and working papers had been bought out from under them. The dawn was scarlet the morning the new captain came aboard. Hailing from a foreign port, he brought with him a giant suit of brass and iron. He zeroed in on Nautilus. Indeed, he had purchased the command because of Nautilus. It was clear the captain was obsessed with the specific wreck, one shrouded in darkness even on a fair day. The diving armor could withstand the pressures of the ocean floor far longer than any man, long enough to collect what was hidden in the abnormal murk. The crew agreed working was better than starving, and Nautilus found himself being bolted into the suit, the wooden deck groaning under the load. Panic rose in his throat when he realized that they had nothing to pay the tithe. Oh, the foreign captain laughed as Nautilus was lowered into the water. He assured the crew that whatever the bearded lady was protecting would make them all rich beyond their wildest dreams. When Nautilus returned to the surface, they would make their silly sacrifice. Now, who is this foreign captain? As Nautilus sank, the light above dimmed and all grew quiet, the man's own breath the only sound echoing in the iron suit. Then something reached out from the depths. He was being pulled down, and for the first time, Nautilus felt liquid fear wrap itself around his heart. It was not treasure his captain sought, but some slumbering eldritch power. Oh, okay. Nautilus grabbed the anchor chain, his last connection to the world above, and hauled himself up even as the thing below sought to drag him down. But the weight was too much. Just as his giant metal fingers were about to breach the surface, the chain snapped. That's why he has his anchor, I see. Nautilus screamed within the suit, but none could hear him. He tumbled back into the inky maelstrom, clutching the sinking anchor in desperation. Dark tendrils enveloped him, and he could only watch as the dimming outline of his ship faded away. Then everything went black. When Nautilus awoke on the ocean floor, he was something different. The darkness could no longer hurt him. The great metal suit had become a seamless shell around him, concealing the bond that the primordial power had made with his spirit. Trapped in the sunless depths, he could remember only one thing, the new captain's broken promise. So obviously, Nautilus is the one that gets the eldritch power and not that foreign captain that obviously wanted it. Nautilus vowed there and then that all would pay the ocean's tithe. He would see it to it himself. Driven ever forward by this thought, he trudged toward the shore. But by the time he reached Bilgewater, years had passed, and he could find no traces of his captain or crew. Okay, so he was knocked out for a while. There was no life to which he could return, no revenge he could take. Instead, he returned to the sea, allowing his anger to surface on the greedy, gutting their ships with his mighty anchor. Sometimes in the tumble of waves, distant memories of who he was push up above the waterline, but always the man who is Nautilus stays drowned just below the surface. I like the writing in this one. So yeah, so he couldn't actually get his revenge because years had passed. He had no idea what, he obviously had no idea what year it even is probably anymore. So the only thing he could really do was just like stop people from being greedy. And so he is now just there, stopping the greedy, gutting their ships with his anchor, and making sure they pay the tithe, right? And I like the writing here. Basically, his memories have just all been pushed away. He can't remember ever since he has this like new power that keeps him there and makes him who he is. But maybe, that the cool thing about that is they could probably have his memories come back in the future or something, like just to add more lore to Nautilus at some point, maybe. Let's take a look at the story. All right, we're reading the Ophidian. I guess that's a ship name. No, that seat's not taken. Pull up a chair and sink a few, friend. Though that might be a poor turn of phrase given my history. I've seen a few shipwrecks, been in one myself as it goes, back when I was young like you. Her name was the Ophidian. That ship pulled down beneath the jagged strait. I was the only survivor too, mind. Maybe you buys me a drink and I'll tell ye about it. This? No, this coin's not for spending, friend. That's my lucky kraken, for to pay the tithe. The tithe? You know the tithe. Everyone knows about the tithe. Pay the tithe or the face the ocean's wrath. Oh, by the bearded lady, then you never heard of Nautilus either, the titan of the depths? Barkeep, pour us around, barkeep. There's a good lass. This is a tale that needs an ale, as they say, and my friend here's a buy-in. Okay, so we're just going to get a story about him, which is cool. That's the good stuff, that is. 'Twas almost 30 years back now, returning from a hunt. I was a harpooner, finest shot in the slaughter fleets. We'd caught ourselves an axe-fin leviathan, one of them big, mean bogger sand. We was hauling the beast back to port. It were just before dawn. Bilgewater's city lights flickered in the distance, beckoning us in. There were razorfish and berserker sharks following close by, because the axe fin was oozing into the water, see? And our captain, well, none of us much cared for him. Untrustworthy sort. He swears blind he paid the tithe afore he left. A single gold kraken, he said, for 'tis all I have to give. But none of us seen him throw it over the side, now did we? So naturally we was suspicious, because we knew he was a tight-fisted old wharf rat, but on we sailed anyway. And that was when the Titan hit us. Without warning, this bloody gray anchor comes at us from below. Smashed clean through the keel, up through the main deck. Caught us tight and started pulling us down. Oh, it was chaos, friend. Sailors thrown overboard, the water's churning, scavengers feeding. I grabs the captain, screaming at him, "You're a liar. This is the lady's punishment for those as don't pay." The ship was going down fast, but the planking gave way, didn't it? And the anchor slid back into the depth. If it had ended then, more of us might have got away. But it weren't over. Nautilus weren't done with us yet. The ship tipped to starboard right sudden. It was the weight of the Titan himself hauling up onto the deck. Perhaps once it'd been a man, but it weren't no man I saw that night rising from the waves. I has our captain by the throat. "This is your doing," I roared as I chokes the bastard, his eyes wide. He can see Nautilus is coming for us. So I shoves the captain away, down the slanted deck, and this thing catches him in one hand, if you can believe it. It was so big, the fingers closed completely around his body, and the captain weren't a small man by any stretch. "There's your tithe," I yells, and jumped overboard. I don't know how long I was in the water, must have only been seconds, but it felt like an age. But the sea scavengers didn't get me. Mother Serpent be praised. Pulled myself up onto one of them stone pinnacles out there in the straits, and I watched the Ophidian sink. Nautilus still held the captain squirming and wriggling like a stuck worm, but there were no escape in that grasp. The Titan was just standing there, motionless as a statue. I watched them go down into the darkness. Why spare me? Don't rightly know. Perhaps I was the only one to make an offering. Or maybe Nautilus wanted someone left alive to tell the tale. But on the darkest Bilgewater nights, when the murder fogs roll in, ye might hear I'm wading out from the shallows, slow and steady, like dragging that accursed anchor in his wake. Want my advice, friend? Keep a coin in your pocket and always pay the tithe. And don't trust no captain who says he's done it, lest you seen it for yourself. After all, ye might not be so lucky as me. Cool. I like, the whole pirate aspect of it, of like hearing about Nautilus as a tale, right? The same thing was the case with Fizz. We got to hear about Fizz from like a story as well. I just like that aspect of it. I mean, my guess is, I don't know if Nautilus necessarily just wanted to take down the whole ship, or if he actually was going specifically for the captain of the ship. And so he kind of did maybe take that as a tithe from the story person here, or what, right? Like, obviously, he was hurt by a foreign captain when he was a man, and maybe like he still has that memory in him. So he's like, okay, I'll take this captain as a tithe, and that'll be good enough for me. And you you can go, right? That's maybe all he cared about. All right, fun stuff. Let's go ahead and actually see how Nautilus plays in the game. All right, we're going to take a look at his abilities first, and then we have a Wild Rift trailer at least for him. Role says tank / support, difficulty is medium. All right, abilities. Staggering Blow is his passive. Nautilus's first attack against a target deals increased physical damage and roots them briefly. Oh, wow. So he actually like slams them and roots them. Okay, so that's his passive. And of course it's against Fizz, which is pretty funny. All right, we have Dredgeline. Let's see it. Oh, sick. Oh, he like slams into them halfway through as it grabs them. Okay, Dredgeline. Q. Nautilus hurls his anchor forward, colliding with an enemy, pulls them and Nautilus together. Dealing magic damage, colliding with terrain, pulls Nautilus towards it. Oh, colliding with terrain, pulls Nautilus towards it as well. All right, and then we have Titan's Wrath, W. Let's see. What's going on? Is it like a shield? What is it? Nautilus gains a temporary shield. While it persists, his attacks deal damage over time to his target and surrounding enemies. Okay, so just kind of another basic shield ability, but also has a little added effect to it. That's pretty nice. Riptide. Oh, that's an interesting one. Does it slow people? It says Nautilus creates 3 exploding waves around himself. Each explosion damages and slows enemies. Perfect. That's a really good AoE. Obviously, it's a little slow, and I'm sure Nautilus as a character is pretty slow in the game, but I definitely think like in team fights, that would definitely get some people. And his ultimate, Depth Charge. Let's see. Oh, is it like a slam, like wave attack? What is it? Nautilus fires a shockwave into the earth that chases an opponent. Oh, that's scary. This shockwave rips up the earth above it, knocking enemies into the air, which we see with Fizz. And when it reaches the opponent, the shockwave erupts, knocking his target into the air and stunning them. Cool. So anybody in the line of it will also get hit, of course. Now, I'm wondering what the range is on that. You know, because Nami's kind of close here, not that far away. But yeah, anyways, I do know Nautilus is one of the older champions in the game as well. I saw his gameplay spotlight is like 13 years old. So I'm guessing, I don't know, have these abilities changed over time? Are these his original abilities? They do kind of seem like, I don't want to say basic, but maybe kind of. If you like compare it to like a new champion nowadays, like this feels kind of basic, but it also feels like a moveset for Nautilus. So anyways, guys, let me know, I guess, how Nautilus compares to other tanks. I think that would be a good question. I know there's a lot of new tanks, you know, nowadays that might be a little bit faster than Nautilus because he does seem like a slower kind of character. Although I'm not really seeing him moving here. That's just the vibe I'm getting from him. But you guys let me know how Nautilus is in the game. All right, here we go. We're going into the Wild Rift gameplay overview. Oh, you go in, slam them, and then you do the shockwave ability or the AoE around them. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. All right, so here's Staggering Blow. Yeah, that root could really mess people up. That's just the passive. Yeah, you do the Dredgeline, and then you do that like AoE around Nautilus. That makes sense as a combo. Cool that you can do it on terrain. Titan's Wrath, gain shield, and empower attacks. Oh yeah, and then I guess attacks deal damage in an area too instead. Okay. Yeah, Riptide seems pretty good. Oh, I got to see the range there. I kind of want to see it. Okay, yeah, it's about what we saw in the video. Cool. I mean, I get it. Like, he's a tank though, right? He's really just supposed to be super tanky, not able to die. He's not like your super damage dealer, but I assume tanks can also do quite a bit of damage as well. Maybe like late game. Or like late game, he just might be like literally unkillable or something. Okay, cool to see the little team fight there. Can't really tell what he's saying. Oh, we got one of those like astronaut ones, right? I think that's that skin line. Okay, that's kind of a cute one. Be interesting to see what kind of skins that Riot gives him. All right, this is, I think, the only cinematic that we have for him, so I figured we'd give it a chance. It is the champion trailer, Rise from the Deep. I know Nautilus is appearing in this for a little bit, so let's just take a look at it. 2 minutes long. I have seen this. We definitely watched it when we did Pike, and maybe we watched it when we were doing just cinematics for League of Legends as well. So this is, yeah, okay, this is specifically for Wild Rift. We're actually gonna just go to the Nautilus part. So I think Nautilus is here. Yeah, oh, look at his anchor compared to the size of that kid. Wild how big it is. Whoa. And his hands are even bigger than I thought. Oh, there's the tithe. There you go. You gotta accept it, right, Nautilus? Ah, so he did. Since some money fell out, I think that means Nautilus let him go. Okay, cool. Oh, there he is. Cool. That's a fun little trailer featuring Nautilus. I like that. That was basically just a Pike and Nautilus trailer. I don't think anybody else appears in that. All right, that was fun. We just got to see, you know, the overall concept of like what Nautilus does in a cinematic. All right, next up we have the Nautilus reveal in Legends of Runeterra. Let's take a look. What does he do? Okay, he's a 7 mana. That kind of makes sense. 0/12. When I level up, copy tossed allies that cost 4+ into your deck. And then level up when you are deep. Okay, what does that mean? I see he has fear as well. All right, let's see him in action. He's a 0/12. Just a blocker, huh? Until you give him some buffs, maybe?
Echoes from the
Toss 4. Okay. The keyword deep. Oh, okay. So the beast below, your deck has 15 or fewer cards. Oh, I see. That's what the deep concept means. So he's like a mill deck a little bit. Mill your own deck kind of card. Oh, that was cool. It pulled him from the depths. And now he's a 13/13 and sea monster allies cost 4 less. So this is like a kind of an all-in kind of deck that you would build with Nautilus, I feel like. You mill half your deck and then all of your big sea monsters are cheap. And then, yeah. Okay. Lightworm egg. Yeah, like he's just got massive monsters on the field coming up here. Oh yeah, all like sea monsters, 8/8, 7/7s. Jeez.
I will not rest.
Not Nautilus summoning sea creatures with him. I mean, I wonder if he actually is like friendly with the sea creatures down there, or does he just command them? Are they scared of him, so they listen to him? I actually wonder what the dynamic down there in the depths is with Nautilus, right? All right, let me know how he is in Legends of Runeterra. Again, I feel like he's kind of an all-in kind of card there. I'm not sure. All right, guys, I think I found an unofficial login screen for Nautilus. I don't think this is his legit one, but it doesn't seem like he actually has one. So we're just going to take this with a grain of salt. Here we go. Okay. I like it, whatever it is. It must be from something. It says Nautilus theme music extended. I don't think it's fan-made. From the clip made by Riot A New Dawn. Okay. So they did take it from something where Nautilus is in it. That's my guess. Interesting that he doesn't have a login screen. Is there another champion that we've done in the past that just totally didn't have one? I think there is. I can't recall who it was, though, off the top of my head. All right. Our boy Nautilus needs a champion theme, Riot. Thank you. Let's take a look at the skins for Nautilus next. Here we go. We're looking at the original design, and then it looks like we have a decent amount. I'll definitely pick my top 3 for him by the end of the skin section here. All right, here is the original design. He's a little, I mean, he's a little rustic, you know. He's got some things. He's got some, is that kelp going on, hanging from him? You know, this is basically his original design. This is the iron suit that he's given, the diving suit by that foreign captain. And there's the original anchor. I'm interested to see some cool designs from Nautilus here, so let's see them. All right, next up is Abyssal. Ooh. All right, let's look at Abyssal. Okay, so they basically gave him some like black and gold elements here. What? Oh, and a seahorse on the back. Okay, so this is like maybe if he like fully embraced his role down here in the depths or something. I like the eyes. I think the eyes change a little bit, and the helmet as well with the little thing in the middle. I forget what that's actually called. But I do like the anchor and everything as well. And what is this? Did he have that in the original design? I don't think so. Who knows what this is actually for? I don't know. I don't know much about diving suits, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure exactly what that part's for. But maybe it's like a magnifying glass or something. I have no idea. But okay, I think overall this is a pretty cool design. I do like the colors here. All right, moving on. Next, we have Subterranean. He almost looks like the suit from like, well, actually, no, not really. He kind of looks like something that I recognize, like on a construction site or something, right? Like that kind of suit, like a bulldozer or something almost. That's the vibe I'm getting here. Why is this missing? Not sure if there's any chromas or anything for this because this is missing over here. I don't know why. I actually think I like this one a little bit better than Abyssal. He just looks a little less intimidating in the face. He almost looks kind of friendly here, except when you actually look at the anchor now. Looks pretty terrifying. But overall, I actually like the yellow and like the red with this one. Yeah, next is Astro Nautilus. Okay, this is the skin that we've seen, you know, a few other champions have, of course. Here he is in all his glory, Astro Nautilus. Yeah, this one's really good. He looks honestly kind of perfect as an astronaut. Obviously, besides the fact that he's like a massive, bulky character. But other than that, like this is honestly pretty perfect skin in my opinion. I mean, I don't think there's anything that would make it any better. It's honestly perfect for him because of his personality and the fact that like the only part of the character that you can really determine is this anchor and then like the eyes, right? And I think it just works perfectly for him. So Astro Nautilus, definitely the best one so far. All right, next up is Warden. Oh, we did like the Diana Warden. Oh, the anchor has now become a crazy like axe with two falcons, I want to say that is, on the side. And he just has like full on gauntlet armor right now. So Warden Nautilus. Wow. Okay. You know, the only thing I would say I'm missing is I kind of wish it had the eyes, but honestly, I think it doesn't necessarily need it. The weapon is absolutely insane though, obviously. The weapon and the armor kind of make this skin, but I still do kind of wish I had the eyes. But yeah, this skin's pretty sick. All right, next up is Conqueror. Let's take a look here. Oh, here we go. Okay, he's bejeweled out. He's got red jewels everywhere. And then just like black and gold accented armor. You know, he's giving a minion in one of those mobile games. I can't think of it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? He's giving like, actually he's kind of just looks like a minion almost a little bit here. If I zoom out and make him real small like this, he almost looks like a little minion almost. I like the design, but I don't know. There's something kind of basic about it. Is that kind of crazy to say? Like, obviously, it looks all symmetrical throughout everything, the armor and everything. And maybe it's too symmetrical for me that I wish it had like more flair going on with it. All right, next up is World Breaker. Let's take a look at World Breaker. Okay, maybe some Alawi influence going on here. Some, you know, yeah, basically some Alawi influence going on here. I don't really know what's going on with him here. He kind of looked bulky, kind of like a totem a little bit. I think that's what they were going for. And, you know, it's okay. I think it's an all right skin. But are there probably better? Yeah, I think so. Like the Astro Nautilus, quite a bit better than this one, I think. So this one's okay, but let's keep going. Next is, oh, Shanghai. Okay. We've seen a couple of these. Ooh, I like the hair. I like the eyes. I feel like I'm complimenting a girl or something. I like your hair and I like your eyes. And then the weapon's really cool as well. Like this little design with the fire clouds or whatever these are supposed to be at the very bottom. Super sick. I don't know what's going on with his legs here. There's some weird leg design going on, but I don't mind it. And then I just like the red accent throughout, right? Especially in like his hands here and everything. And then everything about this is really sick. I like the green with the red and like the dark colors and everything. And the weapon is definitely one of my favorites so far. Next up is Fright Night. Ooh, a Halloween skin for him. Okay, we've only had a couple of Fright Night skins. Oh, the weapon is such a cool idea. Wow. Oh, here we go. I have to actually click in on the variations to see the chromas. Oh no, I may have missed out on some chromas. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, Fright Night. I really like Fright Night. If you guys know me, I like some of the Halloween kind of skins that I see. We don't get them very often with these champions. And this one, I think, kind of works. I really like the design on the weapon. The armor's kind of crazy looking when you get into the chromas. It changes quite a bit. It almost looks kind of weird on some of the others, but the original chroma, I think, is the best one. Yeah, I really like, I like seeing his ears here too. Those are kind of interesting. And then he's got a candle on his head. And then obviously the candles in the weapon as well. I like Fright Night Nautilus, I think, quite a bit. Next up is, oh, we got Cosmic. We got a Cosmic skin. You know me and my Cosmic skins as well. Okay, let's take a look here. I am, you know, actually semi kind of a little disappointed. The weapon is okay. The weapon's pretty cool, but there's a lot going on with it. And then, you know, the armor again, it's giving like he's a minion in a mobile game or something, like an enemy you would fight in a mobile game, which is kind of crazy to say. It still looks cool, but maybe I just can't get over that aspect of like, this would be an enemy that you would fight in some sort of like weird game where you have to fight against minions or like AFK arena or something. And this would be some sort of enemy you would fight in it. I don't know why it's giving that. Maybe I don't even play mobile games really. I've just seen like so many millions of ads for them. So maybe that's what's doing it for me. I think it's a good skin though. Last but not least is Crystallis Indomitus. All right, here we go. Last skin. Now, see, like, this is a lot better. You see what I'm saying? Like, that one and the, not the World Breaker one. Maybe it was the World Breaker skin. They're just, like, a little bit too basic for me. And this has, like, so much more going on with it that makes it a lot better. So, Crystallis Indomitus, we've never had that skin line for, I don't think, anybody else. The weapon is really cool. I like all the crystals. Yeah, there's just, like, the crystallization of Nautilus. He looks really cool here. I like the little part of the anchor that's hanging here is supposed to be the chain as well. I just like the color hues. The next one with the chroma, it's okay, but I think the original design's a lot better. His eyes are cool here. His hair or helmet or head is cool. And then this giant crystal in the back is awesome as well. All right, I'll give you guys my top 3. I want to hear from you though what your favorite skin is for Nautilus. All right, out of all of these guys, they were honestly a little all over the place. I'll be honest with you. There were some decent ones, but then there were kind of some bad ones. And then I think there are some good ones, but honestly, none of them really like took the cake, I think. Like they're kind of just okay overall. But really, okay, I do like Crystallis Indomitus. That's in the top 3. Cosmic disappointed me, so we're definitely going with Fright Night. And then my other one is Astro Nautilus. So those are my top 3 skins. Let me know what your favorite skin is for Nautilus in the comments. All right, taking a look at the trivia for him. Nautilus's dance references the Peeparoony. What is the Peeparoony, everybody? A tab for Ergot Mech can be seen in Nautilus's art spotlight. Not sure what's going on there. Nautilus has the longest basic attack animation in game, which results in enemies being rooted by staggering blow when they visibly got out of range. Okay, so he's the longest animation. Yeah, he's a slow guy, huh? Nautilus was released without the tank tag, though he actually is one. It was added shortly after. Who would not think him to be a tank? I mean, look at the character design, right? I mean, obviously that doesn't always tell you, but still. Nautilus does the Captain Morgan pose when standing idle for a long while. Oh, that's funny. All right, I do know that reference at least. And then Nautilus comes from the Greek word for sailor. Okay. And I don't even know what that says. That's the Greek word for sailor though. Out of universe, Nautilus is also the name of a mollusk taxonomic family, the submarine from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, and subsequently the first nuclear powered submarine. Okay, so that might have been an influence as well. Nautilus and Ziggs were first conceived as Ivan the Mad Bomber. Oh, who is Ivan the Mad Bomber, guys? And then during Nautilus's joke, when he is swimming in the air, he is humming a tune. This is the same tune that Squidward hums to himself in the shower during the SpongeBob movie. Okay, well, when we get to the joke later on, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And then Nautilus is voiced by Richard Newman in Legends of Runeterra. Oh, so is there a different person that voices Nautilus and Legends of Runeterra? Got it. Moving on, let's do the wiki next. All right, taking a look at the wiki, we have some nicknames. Obviously, Fizz likes to call him Rusty, and then I guess Uncle Nautilus as well is what he's called by this little guy. He's known as the Titan of the Depths or Titan of the Deep. He is a revenant species now and no longer human. Born around 787N, and status is undead currently. Okay, there you have it. Occupation, Guardian. All right, no background for him. We basically read all of it, I assume, with the biography and story. And appearance. Even as a human, Nautilus was described as a large man, a quick sinking hulk of solid muscle. After he drowned, Nautilus awoke even larger, a spirit housed without his great metal diving suit that had grown into an enormous titanic monstrosity who was larger than most ships with massive metal gauntlets and giant boots that pounded across the sea floor. Having sat beneath the waves for centuries, Nautilus's suit has grown rusted and brown and covered in cracks and barnacles. His eyes are visible from within the dark casing as glowing orange lights, and the cracks in his suit glow with an eerie, ghost-like green color emphasizing his nature as an undead. As a weapon, he carries an enormous anchor attached to a line, which he uses to sink ships below the waves. Personality. Nautilus was a very superstitious man in life, and he would never set out to sea without first appeasing the vast ocean by paying the tithe. He maintains this mindset after becoming a revenant and will sink any ship that crosses his path should they forget to drop a coin into the ocean. Nautilus never tires of this mission, making him dutiful but also ruthless and vengeful against those who would disrespect the sea, but generally spares those who show the bearded lady proper reverence. Nautilus has a slow, deliberate manner of speaking. He likes to make his voice as deep as possible so as to intimidate people. He is also a very old and ancient being who appears to miss his youth as he watches the excitable young sea creatures in the ocean around him. Okay, that must definitely come from the voice lines that we haven't heard yet, but I like that we're getting a little bit more of a personality from him here. All right, abilities. So Revenant. As an undead, Nautilus is bound to his armored diving suit and does not need to eat or breathe, allowing him to remain underwater for as long as he wishes. Cursed diving suit. Nautilus's great metal diving suit, which houses his spirit, has grown to a titanic size, becoming virtually indestructible to all who may seek to destroy him. Powers of the ocean. After his death, Nautilus was blessed with an ancient power, which allows him to command the waves from beneath the depths. And then Anchor. Torn from his captain's ship, Nautilus wields an enormous anchor as a weapon. Should any ship try to escape him, Nautilus can extend the anchor's reach by its chain so that he may pull them to the depths below. Nautilus would be a really cool character if they did a collaboration with Sea of Thieves to have him as just a character in that, or because you can fight Krakens and Sea of Thieves and stuff. It'd be cool if Nautilus would be somebody that you could fight. Great game, by the way. All right, relations. Nagakaboros. While he was a human, Nautilus was a strong believer in appeasing the ocean and would always request that his captains throw a coin overboard in order to appease her. Now, having become the Titan of the Depths, Nautilus continues to carry out his interpretation of the bearded lady's will and shows no signs of growing tired of his mission. Right. Okay. Basically, just he became who he is because of Nagakaboros. Bilgewater. While the Gangplank Misfortune combined armada fought the Black Mist on Bilgewater's shores, eventually succeeding but at great cost, Nautilus managed to stall and or defeat the rest of the undead threat a few miles from the port city itself. Okay, so he actually helped fight some of the remaining undead as well during that time. Very cool. So he does still kind of have, or maybe they were just bothering him. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe he kind of still has a moral compass to him a little bit there, or he wanted to protect Bilgewater, or maybe they were just bothering him. Who knows? I'm not sure exactly when that takes place or where that is shown, or if it's in a story or something. All right, sea creatures. Nautilus has a fondness for many of the sea creatures. Okay, I had asked that question a little bit earlier. What is his relationship with the people in the ocean with him? So the coral creatures, Bubble Bear, Admiral, Shelly, and the Nurdle. There are some he finds annoying though, like Zap, Sprayfin, possibly because she is friends with Fizz. And we know he doesn't like Fizz. Yeah, Nautilus hates Fizz and would like to see him dead. I love how it's just one sentence and that's all it says. And then Misfortune. Nautilus encountered Misfortune once before when he arrives to collect the debt of the Moon Serpent and its captain, Ali. Misfortune survived the encounter, but only because Nautilus was after Ali, not her. And then Gangplank. Having nearly been claimed by the depths once before, Gangplank refuses to pay the bearded lady's tithe out of spite, not seeming to believe Nautilus truly exists. Well, let me tell you, Gangplank. All right, let's see what content there is. There's the Titan of the Depths. We read Dead in the Water. We did not read Dead in the Water, or yeah, that might have been Misfortune's story, right, that we read. Rise from the Deep video we did watch, and we did read the Ophidian. All right, that's all the content that there is for Nautilus, but like I said, the way that they have him set up, it could be a thing where maybe he eventually gets his memories back, and then maybe he comes out of the ocean, and I don't know, maybe is there ever a chance Nautilus will come out of the ocean at some point? I think that's maybe the only thing they could maybe do with his lore in the future. But I do like his character and I like where he's at in the game, lore wise and everything. And I think, he's definitely, I almost see him, this might be a stretch, but I almost see him as a protector of Bilgewater, like Galio is a protector of Demacia. Obviously, Galio might technically be strong. I don't know. Actually, Galio and Nautilus, who would win that fight? Let me know in the comments on that one. But yeah, I kind of see him in that sense, even though his main goal isn't actually protecting Bilgewater, but I think he would possibly, right? Just because Bilgewater is an island, so it's surrounded. So he's gonna know what's going on around Bilgewater no matter what. All right, trivia. Nautilus's backstory might be referencing the Pirates of Dark Water. Despite similarities to Nautilus's lore, Riot decided to keep Pike's lore the same because they felt there was enough room for two deep sea revenants that desired revenge. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I obviously got the same kind of lore between these two, but I think, they're totally different in who they are. And like Pike is way different, right? I still think, even though their origin stories are pretty similar, right? That would be, I guess, the only thing I would say about that. All right, guys, let's finally get into the voice lines. We do have Legends of Runeterra ones, which is nice. So those are a bit newer. And then we're going to have his old League of Legends ones. All right, let's keep things going along. We're going to start off with the Legends of Runeterra special interactions first. We'll take a look at the wiki as well for the additional voice lines, because I don't think the skin spotlights video will have everything. So we'll look at that, and then we'll look at the wiki voice lines as well at the very end here.
So, you're on my side after all, Nautilus. For now.
Oh, there's that deep voice. Okay. He sounds like... I mean, he sounds pretty terrifying.
Nautilus, I won't pay your tithe. Yes, you will.
Okay. A man of a few words.
Time has come.
Literally.
Plank.
Okay, calling him out
Will
specifically.
not be slain by whatever you are.
I mean, Nautilus wins that, right? Hands down.
Hey, Rusty, what you doing here?
Don't call me that.
Oh, he got real mad real fast at that one.
Hey, Rusty, gotta try to kill me again?
I hate you.
Yeah, he literally doesn't speak more than like 4 words, like at all, I feel like. That's so funny.
Marines, to me!
Waste your youth while you can.
Okay, so these are his little friends in the ocean. Bubble
Save
Bear.
this for us.
A light in the deep.
Okay, at least he's friendly with some people.
Found one!
Run along, little ones.
Oh, he's kind of like a, you know, he's just like a nice dude.
Ah,
Except when it comes to Fizz.
I know.
Okay.
You shouldn't have come here, Fizz.
Like you're gonna catch me.
Right. I mean,
Come to pay the tithe, Gangplank.
no.
The seas have taken enough from me.
Yeah, he's still not paying that tithe.
Like a fish in water.
You would never survive the deep.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think so.
Another day in the field.
Oh, Timo?
Monster.
What is with everybody hating Timo? Okay.
My voice is deeper than your voice. I disagree.
That's just a fun little thing. Okay.
There you are.
Devourer of the Depths. God, that looks terrifying.
You will feast soon enough.
Okay, even kind of friendly with this thing, huh?
Come to me.
He is our very own Aquaman of League of Legends,
Together
huh?
at last.
Just commanding the sea monsters.
Big ships sink faster.
Okay. Okay, the Leviathan.
Pull
Siren.
her under.
Oh, this is cool that we're getting like interactions with the ship cards. That's
I
fun.
rarely.
Nautilus!
You are right to panic.
That's how I would be too.
Echoes from the deep.
No, throw it back, throw it back! Nautilus on our side, we are invincible!
Correct.
Okay, I see he's
Who has
not very humble.
summoned me?
Oh.
Me? We best friends now! Ha!
Who is this guy?
Uncle Nautilus, come with us!
Uncle Nautilus.
Not today, little ones.
Oh, he's busy. He's got some tithes to collect.
All is dark.
Okay, that makes sense in the deep.
Too greedy.
Oh, ally death. Oh, okay. Oh, he's... Oh my god. The realization of Fizz dying there, he's just like, oh, okay, sure.
The children.
Oh no.
Too slow.
Okay, so he really is just like giving the reasons why they basically died. Good for victory. What does he say for
The
defeat?
sea does not forget. The waters cannot be sated. I
Okay. That's a scary thing to hear Nautilus say.
You cannot escape judgment.
Yeah.
Do or drown.
Ah, okay, this is player idols. Okay.
The tide rises.
Ooh, that's a scary one. That's a good one, though. All right, I think that is it out of this big Skin Spotlights video here, but we're definitely going to go check out the Wiki ones as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess the thing I noticed, obviously deep voice, pretty scary guy, a man of very few words. He's not speaking like long sentences or anything here. I'm actually curious what like the first moves and the long moves, if those voice lines are going to be any long at all when we get to the Wiki. But yeah, he definitely doesn't seem like somebody that's speaking too often. I mean, I get it. He's in this suit underwater. I mean, I guess he wouldn't be somebody that yaps a lot, right? Some of the coral creatures and things like that are friendly with him, which is nice because he has no reason to harm them, right? So it's probably nice for him to have the company down there. But then you also see some of the pirates and the ships and things be kind of scared of him. So that makes sense. Gangplank, I think, is obviously the most interesting one there. I almost want to say like Gangplank, we could almost say is kind of like his rival. We obviously know he hates Fizz. You could say that that's his rival, but that just kind of seems like they're both living in the same area. They just don't like each other. They're basically neighbors. But I feel like Gangplank is more of a rivalry because I think both would actually want to kill each other. Well, I don't think Fizz necessarily cares about Nautilus per se. So I don't know. I kind of feel like, yeah, there's like a rivalry between him and Gangplank a little bit because of the whole tithe thing, right? But Nautilus can't have people not paying the tithe out there. So I think he definitely has to somehow get Gangplank to pay that. All right, let's move on to the rest of the voice lines. All right, let's look through some more voice lines here and see if we can find some extra ones. Like I see Allied Echo present.
Echoes from the deep.
I mean, that's kind of a repeat though. We got Maokai.
Vengeance from the seas.
We got Maokai responding.
And fury from the blighted lands.
Oh, that's a good, oh, okay. This is the first time I've ever heard Maokai. All right, Nami.
Peer into the darkness.
Okay. Oh, here we go. We have Pike. Yes, he just says the same things here. Peer into the darkness, vengeance from the seas. Let's actually get to some newer voice lines here. So let's see. Do I have anything? We have this one with Jaw Hunters.
These waters are mine.
Okay.
Keep your waters. We come for the beasts.
Okay. All right, so let's see what other new voice lines we have in here. All right, we have his level up.
All will drown.
That's a good one.
The water rises.
He doesn't say much.
Blood and salt.
Oh, that's a scary one. All right, let's see. Allied Chum the Waters.
Blood in the water. Fear the deep.
And then we have an Allied Devour.
Feeding time.
There's the deep sea monster.
The depths take you.
And then we have Lure of the Depths.
Beauty in the depths. The deep awakens.
This is pretty cool. So we're just seeing some of these spells resolving basically. And then we have Allied Riptide.
Drown with me.
Drown with me is crazy.
I have you.
Uh-huh. And then Allied Salvage.
Dive deeper. Down.
If you hear this coming from the deep depths of the ocean, like, you freak out for sure. All right, attacks declared.
Drag them down. Forward. Pull them under. Fill their lungs.
Fill their lungs is a good one. And then block declared.
Do you hear the call? I will not rest. Pay the tithe.
Oh, I think that's honestly perfect. You declare blocks with Nautilus, and then he's literally like, pay the tithe. You will not get past, right? Like Gandalf over here. All right, and then we really just have his deaths. Okay, those are kind of funny. Oh, that last one actually feels like an undead person dying there. And then we have removed from combat or play.
The salt is rising.
Okay, a couple mentions of salt. You know, obviously salt water.
I will not rest.
And then brought back to combat or play.
They will know my name.
Oh, what is that from? I feel like, I guess that's from a lot of things, right?
The tithe will be paid.
And then we already listened to the victory and defeat voice lines. All right, any little trivia here? It doesn't look like there is. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the League of Legends voice lines. I'm very curious how different those are. I'm really hoping they didn't just like rehash a lot of the Legends of Runeterra ones, but let's go ahead and see what's in the League one. All right, let's take a look here. So we are looking at Nautilus in League of Legends, and yeah, it looks like he actually has Cosmic Paladin voice lines as well as Crystallis and Dominus voice lines. Let's go ahead and just do the pick. That's the sound effect. Oh, that sounds even like deeper, the voice. It's like sounds lower on the, you know, whenever you're hearing it.
I will not rest.
Wow. Okay. It sounds so deep that you can almost barely hear it, to be honest. All right, here we go. Moving voice lines.
The tide ebbs. Do you hear them calling?
Who is them? We talking about like sirens?
Lost and forgotten.
Oh, the reverb is crazy.
Find the guilty. Peer into the darkness.
Okay, that one they did rehash.
Forward, forward. Left to die.
Talking about himself there.
Echoes from the deep. The endless.
Yeah, it really like sounds like he's speaking from like the bottom of the ocean in these voice lines. That's crazy. All right, we have his taunt.
You are in the deep end now.
The deep end. Not the laugh. Joke. Nautilus plants his anchor in the ground and swims in the air.
Sometimes I think this anchor just weighs me down.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, it's nice to see a little humor with this character, to be honest. You know, I feel kind of bad for him, obviously. And then we have Nautilus's laugh. That's what it sounds like. Okay, what is he? He's making extra noises with his laugh. He's like, It's like a very old man. Last one. Okay. And then we have basic attacking, just grunts. Oh, but they're scary. Jeez. I guess if he's swinging that big anchor around, it would require some grunting. All right, and then we have attacking.
They will pay. I will have vengeance. Fear the ocean's weight.
Okay, I like Fear the Ocean's Weight because that obviously just makes sense.
All will drown.
That is terrifying.
I will not rest.
And then a couple of these are rehashes. Legends of Runeterra.
Them down.
Okay. All right, now we have using Dredgeline, which is just grunts. I guess we're getting a lot of grunts and yells in this. And then using Titan's Wrath, he ventilates, hyperventilates. Oh, okay. And then using Riptide, he yells. And then using Depth Charge. Okay, lots of yelling, grunting. Like I said, man of very few words. I think the biggest thing here he says is from his joke, where he thinks the anchor's weighing him down. That's probably the most he ever says in any sentence here at all. All right, guys, there's actually no trivia for it as well. So, all right, Nautilus, you know, I did go into this one a little bit blind, so I wasn't sure, you know, how much, you know, content we were going to get for him, which he is definitely on the lighter end. But again, we're totally getting to those champions that are going to be on the lighter end of having content for them. But Nautilus is a champion that has been in the game for a very, very long time. So I figured he was definitely somebody that we needed to get to. And Nautilus, in my opinion, is a pretty important character in the Bilgewater area. Again, I compare him to kind of like Galio from Demacia in the sense that he's kind of a protector in Bilgewater, but not necessarily right at the same time. But you get what I'm saying, right? He's like this big colossus undead revenant creature, right? right? That is in Bilgewater, and he's kind of there, and he's pretty scary, and like I don't think he could be taken down very easily, right? So it's really cool to have him there in Bilgewater, because otherwise I'm not sure who would be able to defend. I would say like adding Nautilus here into the cast of the Bilgewater crew, like this, there's so many different kinds of characters. Just comparing Nautilus to Fizz to like Gangplank, right? Or to Alawi. There's so many unique creative characters in Bilgewater. And I think that's what they're going for with Bilgewater being the place that it is, right? That it would have these kinds of casts of characters in it. So I just wanted to get Nautilus in here. I thought he was a really interesting character. I knew nothing about him, right? Like going into the biography and everything, I had no idea about the tithe thing. I had no idea about like how he actually became an undead revenant. So yeah, the fact that he's very similar to Pike as well, that's another character that is obviously a super unique character in Bilgewater. I guess that would actually be kind of a disappointment for me so far, is why didn't he have some more interactions with some of these other people in Bilgewater? Fizz, right? Okay, Gangplank, sure. Why not Misfortune? Why not Alawi? Why, especially Alawi or Pike, right? And my guess is obviously they just haven't touched Nautilus in a very long time. They did the Legends of Runeterra voice lines though about 4 years ago, but they clearly didn't want to add any more when they released him into the game. They didn't have the time or the resources or something like that. But you know, that's obviously something that I would have liked to see from Nautilus. It's not Nautilus's fault. It's Riot's fault, realistically. But yeah, I don't think, I mean, at this point, I think I pretty much get Nautilus's character. I don't think there's anything I'm missing about him. So if there is anything, let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, for future lore for Nautilus, I think the most perfect thing for any of the characters that, you know, have some sort of amnesia about them, the way you can kind of push their lore forward is maybe giving them their memories back or something like that, right? Or adding like maybe he had a wife and then he remembers that he had a wife and he tries to go back to her or something like that, right? But I know it's been like, we don't know how long he's been in the depths. I'm pretty sure it's been centuries though, right? So yeah, I'm just trying to think of some things that they could do with his lore in the future besides just adding some more voice lines would be nice. But they kind of had that opportunity with Legend of Runeterra and they didn't do it. So who knows what they're going to end up doing with Nautilus in the future? Who knows what kind of skins we'll get for him in the future? But yeah, let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. And I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next League of Legends reaction. Bye.